Hey guys, Rob here. I just wanted to make a little video. This came up in a post yesterday about how do I clean my smooth bore barrels. And this is just for smooth bore. I don't have any rifled barrels yet. Of course, I've only been back in the hobby, and that's not going to stay up. I've only been back in the hobby about 4 months, so of course, I don't have any expensive guns just yet, but I do have a little bit more expensive gun that's supposed to be here tomorrow. It's going to have a rifled barrel. But for smoothbore barrels, what I do is I like to use pipe cleaners. Now these are obviously for actual tobacco pipe. But what I would actually recommend is going to a craft store and getting the pipe cleaners. They actually make ones that are a lot softer than these. Once these are used up, I'm going to go get some of those because they're a lot softer. Because some of these, you can pull some of these out of the pack and they'll be just a little bit too rough. I won't even use them. But what I do is I'll take a cap and I'll fill it with some rubbing alcohol. I'll dip one end of the pipe cleaner in and I'll gently, insert it into the barrel until it stops. And then as I'm pulling it out, I'll twist it until it comes out. And then this one's already clean, but you'll see a lot of black crap, coming off on the end of this. And then I'll flip it over and I'll take some of this bearing oil, and you can get this at most hobby shops. Any hobby shop that sells like radio control stuff, like radio control cars and trucks. I have seen this at, I can't remember if it was either Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get it. If you can't find it at any of those places, I know you can get it online hobby shops like amainhobbies.com. That's AMAIN hobbies, amainhobbies.com. This one is made by CRC. I think it runs like $3 or $4, and of course there's a lot more in it than this. It's filled all the way up to here. And I'll put a little line of oil on the end, and then I'll run it back through, and this time I'll twist it, and then I'll twist it, again as I'm pulling it out. And what that does is it puts a nice coat inside the barrel, so when you store it, you don't have to worry about it being dirty or anything. The oil help keep it protected, and then when next time you go to shoot. And what I also do is, hopefully you guys can see this. Now you see the green seal and then the puncture tip that punctures the CO2 can. What I'll do is, since this has, obviously, here I'll show you. It has like a syringe tip, right? I'll get in there and put a nice couple of glops around that seal, right? And then I'll take a very fine tip paintbrush like this, and I'll go in there and I'll basically like paint the oil around the seal, put a nice coat all around the seal. And then I'll even use the brush and I'll put like a little bit of, I'll put a glop on the actual puncture tip itself, and you'll know that it'll get in there because you'll see like a little, you'll see an air bubble pop up, which basically tells you that, you know, the oil is getting in the tip. That's if, I'll only do that if I don't have any Pel gun oil. You know, if I have Pel gun oil, then I'll just put some, I won't put the bearing oil on the puncture tip. I'll do the Pel gun oil on the tip. But yeah, I use this little brush and I'll just paint the oil around and give it a nice coating. I do that to all my guns. I do that, you know, after every time I shoot. Because sometimes, as you guys know, if you don't finish a shooting session, or you think you're all out of CO2 and you go to unwind it and you know hear that little psst, that little hissing, you know, that'll dry out that seal as soon as that CO2 touches it. So every time I'm done shooting, I'll do this, and you're not going to be able to see it, but if you were to open all three of my pistols, you'll see that seal, all my seals are glistening. They're all glistening with that oil, so they're never dry. I always keep them wet. Another thing I do is I'll take a paintbrush like this, a wider tip. I'll take some of the bearing oil, and here's the magazine, right? Of course, you know, there's different style magazines. I'll put a couple of drops inside the magazine, and then I'll take this brush, I'll go back, I'll go down, up, I'll wipe off the excess on a towel. I keep doing that until no more black crap. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, if it's going to show up on camera, but I'll keep doing that until no more black crap shows up on this towel. Because when you first do that, you wipe it off, you'll see a black streak. Do it again, black streak. Do it again. So I keep doing that until there's no more black streak on the towel, and you can see how that used to be a bright white. So, you know, obviously you get residue in here. You get residue in these magazines too. So that's just what I do. That's how I clean my my smooth bores. Now when I start getting into rifled barrels, obviously I've had some people tell me, well, don't clean them all the time because you want to build up some lead in there, you know, or else you'll ruin the accuracy. So, but this is just for smooth bore. So yeah, that's basically what I do. Just wanted to make a little video. I'm not a professional by any means. I've only been back into the hobby for 4, maybe 5 months, and even though this is only $30 gun, I still treat my guns like I would if they're $1,000 gun, because I want them to last long. So that's just what I do. Hopefully somebody out there found this helpful. And yep, thanks for watching.